Welcome to the Great Girlfriends podcast, where we discuss life, love, laughter, and everything in between. We're your hosts, Brandis Daniel.
And I'm Sybil Amuti. And thank you for joining us.
Yes. So, Sybil.
Yes.
What's been going on this week? What's going on in your world?
You know what? All of everything this week. I'll tell you real quick. My little boo-boo Dilly, she's in her second week of camp. And this particular week, she's been talking to more about her friends and what's been going on at camp. And she's giving me a lot more sass than normal. She has definitely turned it up 2 notches this week. And I've been having to serve it up to Dylan.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, I've been, you know, I don't know when the hormones start going up, down, and around, but I have a 3-year-old who's acting 40.
That is crazy.
No one told me that 3 was like this.
Let me tell you something so funny about Delicious Girlfriend. About Dilly. I'm sorry, about Dylan, Sybil's 3-year-old. So she has created a school in Sybil's basement, which she calls Delicious.
The Delicious School.
The Delicious School.
Because she's delicious.
That is
and she named it herself.
And spells it with like Dilly, like how you spell Dylan.
Yes. So she's wild. But anyway, what's been going on with you?
This week has been busy. You know, I'm gearing up for New York Fashion Week.
Yes.
So, just been busy. I had a really good meeting the other day with potential sponsor, like an agency.
Okay.
And so that was interesting because this guy who I met with actually went from entrepreneurship, and then he left entrepreneurship and actually like went to go work for a company. And so he and I kind of like talked about that and like what made him do that and stuff. Basically, he was just like, he had been doing it for 15 years and the grind is no joke.
Wow.
He will always be an entrepreneur, but he wanted to try something different. But it was good. So,
wow.
So this week has just been busy.
Yeah.
Like really, really busy.
There's been a lot too. I just want to, you know, this is kind of sensitive, but there's been a lot going on with the Sandra Bland case.
Yes.
And I found myself a little emotional about the whole situation. And it just made me honestly want to be more vocal.
Yeah. Definitely.
As, you know, lift my voice more, be stronger for more women.
Absolutely.
You know, be more of a reinforcement because I saw so many people hurting on social media.
My stomach hurt.
Yeah,
I didn't know because I and girlfriends is not a good thing, but I keep my head in the sand half the time because I'm just trying to get stuff done.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my intern was like something, she's like, this is just so horrible about the Sandra Bland. And I said, what happened? And so she was like, you haven't heard? And so I just started reading it and I'm just like this, like my stomach is turning.
Yeah. It's so, you know, but you know, for as much bad, you know, it's going on, there's some great things happening out there. There are. But I just definitely wanted to not go without saying and identifying that it has empowered me in a different way. Yeah. You know, it has empowered me. My sensitivity is empowering me more to do more for other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. So onward and upward, guys. Yes. Onward and upward.
This topic is actually, so last week we actually talked about shrinking.
Yes. And I guess, you know, Brandon's pretty much put my tail on the hot plate.
No, I didn't actually.
Yes, you did. You called me out like 3 times that I wasn't ready.
Well, let me tell you guys.
I could pull the timestamps.
Let me tell you guys. First of all, Sybil in the last episode, if you guys realize, Sybil, I'm really gonna put you on blast.
See, this what I'm talking about.
This is payback. This is payback.
Go ahead.
But so on our episodes, like we basically create 3 questions for each other every single episode, right? And we don't always know what those questions are. So when you guys get our response, you're really hearing like our honest heart and our honest answers. Well, I noticed on the last episode format, there were no questions written. So we're going through. So, of course, you guys remember that I asked Sybil a question and she finally gave us a story. But after the podcast was over, I'm like, Sybil, why didn't we have questions? She's like, oh, yeah, I didn't want to deal with that. Really?
I didn't feel like doing questions.
Really?
I did not.
So, yeah.
Have you ever not felt like doing something or felt like it's not life or death? So that's how I felt. I feel like your girlfriends will understand that if we did one episode without 3 questions, no one would lose life.
Okay, so girlfriends, let us know what you think. Do you think we gave you enough questions and enough stories on the last episode of Shrinking?
That's shade right there.
Please,
and you know what? If I had to give one girlfriend tip today, it would be don't don't throw shade. Well, you know what? Maybe this is not shade because you're doing it to my face. I don't know. But anyway, I love you for it.
So, girlfriends, we want to hear what you think. If you think Sybil needs to give more stories on shrinking, please let us know on our Facebook page, and we will be sure. Maybe we'll do a part 2 of shrinking.
Maybe we'll do a Periscope on shrinking.
That's
what we'll do.
That's what we'll do.
All right, so then what are we talking about today, Miss Brandis, the Taskmaster? Brandis's hashtag, just so you guys know on social, is Brandis the Taskmaster.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
It is absolutely not. So let me tell you. So, I had a scenario come up recently. And the way we kind of choose our topics for these episodes is a lot of times based on exactly what's going on in our life.
Right. No, it's true.
And so when we're dealing with stuff, we're like, shoot, our girlfriends are probably dealing with the same thing. We should talk about it on a podcast. And one of the things I was dealing with was actually something that I really wanted and had asked for. It looked like it is happening, and it scared the crap out of me. And so I'm like, okay, we need to talk about this because this is kind of like a little bit of a part 2 of shrinking, but we have as much a fear of success as we do of failure.
That is so true. I mean, I feel like anybody who tells you it's not true is completely lying to you, because honestly, sometimes the thing that keeps us from going after success is the fear of that unknown space.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Absolutely. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are impacted by this. And, some of you I know who have some things that you want to do and some things that you want to accomplish. Doors start opening and you want to crawl under your freaking bed.
Yep.
Because you're like, oh no, people are actually taking me serious.
Yep. Yeah. I've even had a friend of mine who was at a job and she's been there for about probably 10 years now or more. And she's, kind of bored at her job, but I asked her, I said, well, would you consider going after a promotion or maybe a different company? She said, no, I like my desk. I like my drive to work. I like, I like my check every week. She said, and too much money is a problem. Wow. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to put you on my long lunch list.
Wow.
Like, yeah, too much is a problem. And because of that, she will probably spend the next 20 years or so there.
Wow.
At that desk, at that cube, doing what she does, driving the same route.
It's the same. I'm sure there are girlfriends out there now who have promotions that they can go for.
Yeah.
And you have probably even been given the green light by your manager.
Yeah.
But have not done it. And it's just the fear of success.
It's so true. I'm even going to say in dating.
Ooh.
Dating. Boom. Pow.
Boom.
That is right
Mic
there.
drop.
Mic drop. Y'all already know what I'm talking about.
Go ahead, Sybil.
Y'all already know it. As much as you fear some dude doing something that a guy from your past did, you also fear the idea of trusting someone that you've not known to be the one that's going to love you the right way. I had it.
That dude that comes and start doing all the things
oh my
you
God,
say
you
you
try to run
wanted.
him off. You be trying. He goes through so many hoops.
To try to get
How many
you.
hoops does he go through to try to prove? And he keeps proving. And then when you marry him, you want to shop away his money. You have his kids, but you want to cause him all this grief to prove that he's not Otis. Otis.
That is so
that he ain't. You know
crazy.
what I mean? But it's true. It happens a lot, with relationships. And most of us women have probably gone through at least one or two inferior relationships, probably more, but I'm just saying just a modest number. Or some of us, like me, I went through sexual assault. So obviously I had fear of the idea that someone would do that again, but also that I could even trust a man to love me the right way.
Wow.
Completely, yeah. So fear of success, run, and with money. Sometimes people want to burn it off before they want to save it because they're afraid of what could happen if their money would grow.
Ooh.
Right?
Drop. I thought this
serious.
was my topic.
It is true though, right?
It's true.
Right? It's so true. It is true. I'm saying.
It is so true. So we're going to dive right into some personal stories.
Okay.
And some personal questions. And ladies, this is totally off the cuff right now.
Completely.
So you're going to get some real honesty and vulnerability. And I'm going to start with you. Like, can you think of one moment in your life where you were scared to death of success in some area?
Yes, absolutely with Kwaku. Like, just getting to know him, one, I was like, this guy is serious, one, and I'm not that serious right now. And then I was like, then I have to explain to him some of the things that I've been through in my past, and I gotta let him know, that I'm flawed in case he doesn't see it already.
Yes.
Because we walk around thinking that we all snaps and snatched together, and that guys don't see through a lot of the masquerade that we put on. So, doing that. And then trusting the idea that he wasn't completely playing a masquerade with me.
Yeah.
And that was a real big dilemma for me, because it wasn't that I didn't want to believe in him. I didn't know how. Everything about my past said that he was about to be a fraud.
Wow.
Everything.
Wow.
So it was up to me to believe that the fears that I had were just all a part of, all my past is trying to weigh me down and keep me from moving forward.
But how do you, because there are women out there now who are dating a guy and everything about him is everything they've asked for, but they are trying to kick this dude to the curb.
Yeah.
What kept you in it?
What kept me in it was Kwaku was consistent.
Yeah.
His character was consistent, and I learned to trust my instinct more.
Yeah.
I learned to trust my heart more, and I learned to understand that what my heart felt was good.
Okay.
That my heart didn't feel apprehension. My mind felt apprehension.
Got it.
My heart felt connection. My mind felt safety. Lock down. Shut them off. Block.
Right.
So I would literally war between my emotions and my thoughts.
Ooh.
And he was just on the other side of it, just hanging on by a string like, I'm going to love this woman. I'm going to love her. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're going to fail like the rest. And this was a war that I took him through.
Wow.
I took him through this, and he was just resilient.
Wow.
He was resilient. And don't get me wrong, we had breakups, but our breakups were over things that were workable. They weren't over like betrayal and cheating and lies and all the other crazy stuff that I dealt with before.
Right.
So it was just like, it was all something that I needed to just accept.
Yes.
I needed to accept it. I needed to stop trying to push it away. Stop trying to reject it.
Girlfriends. You hear this.
Yeah. And even in marriage, when I started out literally at the altar, my dad walked me up. And as my dad was walking, I've been with Kwaku for 3.5 years. Okay. My dad is walking me down the altar to the altar, down the aisle. And as my dad is walking with me, I'm clamping my dad's arm tighter and tighter because I realize the significance.
Yes.
My father has been like Superman to me my whole life.
Right.
So my father's about to hand me off to this man.
Wow.
So I start thinking, you don't even know this dude, Daddy. You only been knowing this dude like 2 years. You don't even know. He could be crazy. You just gonna hand me off to this dude? Right. These are all things that are going through my head. Then I was like, oh, no, this is a good thing. Head stop, heart go. And heart was kicking in like, no, you love him. This is good. Your dad trusts him.
Tough.
But all of this stuff was happening. Thank God I took my time going down the aisle. Because by the time I got to the altar, all I could do was look up and see my future. And I cried and I just kept crying because I knew all was well.
Right.
But even in that moment, and it was never that I felt like walking away. It was just the fear of what I was going into.
Yes, the fear of the unknown.
Yep.
And that's what the fear of success is. A lot of times it's
the
about
fear of uncertainty.
We just don't know that space.
Yep. And we think that we've gotten everything under control in the current space.
Right.
So we're like, this is manageable.
Right.
I can handle this.
Right. You bringing something on to me that I've never dealt with that. And maybe no one even in my family has dealt.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't even have anyone who can relate to this. So this is totally unknown. So I'm going to push it away.
Yeah. No, completely. I mean, I think in my life in that experience, I wanted to love. I wanted to trust. There were so many parts of me that did, but again, my mind kept telling me that it was completely irrational. And sometimes that fear of success, it has to be irrational because you don't need to think it. You need to experience it from your feelings. You need to experience it from your heart. You know what I mean? And an instinctive leading. It doesn't need to be, I mentally mapped myself to this place and you need to cliff jump, right?
Yeah.
to actually feel it in the way that you should, with all of your sensories. Like loving Kwaku is a complete sensory experience.
Yes.
All of my senses.
Yes.
You know, all of my being is engaged in loving him. And that has never happened before.
And that is tough.
Never. It's tough. It's tough, but
because it requires complete vulnerability. That's why.
Complete. And honestly, I'll even say we're 9 years into marriage and I'm probably still 82.7% vulnerable on most days. Because I dive in and out of it. And out of it. There are days when I feel like locking up and closing off. And there are days when I just feel like free falling.
Wow.
It's not an everyday, it's not something that I'm liberal at every day.
Right.
I have to struggle with. And it's not Kwaku. It's me telling myself every day that everything that we've invested in, that we're growing, will continue to grow. It's not going to die.
It's tough.
Yeah, it's tough. Because you see so many people, where relationships are concerned, you see so many people married 40, 50, 60 years, and it's a dying marriage.
Yes.
And you like, y'all just staying together for the breath of it? Like,
it's
y'all
true.
don't even eat at the same table, you know?
Or sleep in the same room.
Exactly. Or take trips together. Y'all don't even like each other, you know? And that's not what I want.
Right.
So I don't have, I have to create my own model. The blueprints are not very easily accessible there. So yeah, but the fear of success in that particular arena is real.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. What about you?
Great story. Well, I have a similar story, but since you told the relationship story, because my story is very similar. I was scared to death of Rich. Scared to death.
Yes.
Like scared to death. Because he was just too consistent. And he was just doing too many things. Like, you know, like.
I know. Isn't that crazy, girlfriends? How the consistent guy gets challenged on his consistency.
Oh my God.
Is he real?
Yeah. I was like, what is this? This is just kind of odd.
God.
You know?
That's horrible.
And then you're like, you know, then you go into the whole he's nice, but I don't know, you know. So,
and all your friends sitting over there like, well,
are you crazy? Yes.
If you don't want them, I'll take them. You're like, I ain't ready to give them up.
Exactly.
I don't know if I want to keep them that long.
So I definitely had that story, and just recently, it's so interesting. So we had. With business, I can tell you, there were times when, you know what? I'm going to give this example. There is a recent one that just happened, but I'm going to give another one.
Okay.
I'll never forget this guy who was working with me. He was our sponsorships guy, right? Mm-hmm. And I, to this day, don't know if this was true or not, girlfriends, but he told me that he had this huge deal on the table for HFR. It would have been a game changer of a deal. Okay. It would have changed my life instantly financially.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That scared the crap out of me. And I have said for years that I'm going to be wealthy. Mm-hmm. For years, what kind of financial life I want to live. But do you know that I had to go to therapy for that?
Wow.
I literally booked a therapy session to talk through what does my life look like without struggling. Because the struggle had happened for so long. And it's sometimes you can fantasize and you can romanticize the struggle.
Yeah.
And you get so caught up in that when things start to happen, and you even for Rich for me is just an amazing accountability partner for me. Because he's like, if this is what you say, this is what I'm holding you to. Yeah. And I say a whole bunch of stuff.
And he's like, bet.
But I don't always hold myself to that stuff.
But he's there to do it.
But he's holding me to it all the time. And when things start to open and doors start to open, sometimes you just want to get under your freaking bed.
Yeah. No, so true.
Under the covers.
You know, even when you start talking about that, okay, you're going to keep telling that story because I just thought of another example, but go ahead.
No.
That was it? Go ahead. Well, because I was thinking professionally, you know, because as we talked about in Shrinking of how many years that I spent just kind of playing it small, always knowing what I'm capable of, but honestly giving other people the room to take credit for things that I do. Ladies, if you hadn't checked out that episode, go look out No More Shrinking. I think it's a really great episode. But it ties into this because when opportunities came for myself and other team members to represent very high-profile individuals who have far more experience and far more money and far more relevance and far more credibility, and they want to trust me with their brand, I'm often bewildered.
Wow.
I feel like, are they nuts? Do they know that I'm way younger, that I have only 10 years experience at what I'm doing? Like, I feel like a rookie.
Right.
Like, I don't feel empowered. I feel inferior sometimes. And I have to really sit back and change my mind and say, you know what? Instead of me feeling like afraid that I won't measure up to their standard, I'm going to take on the idea that they think they see enough in me to know that I do measure up to the standard.
Right.
And they're giving me a hand up.
Yeah.
You know, this situation, this opportunity is giving me a hand up. And so when I do that, it opens my mind to the idea that there are no caps. Like, I can go after more and more and more and more.
And even the thought of that there are no caps, that's scary.
But that's the truth that people need to know.
There are no caps.
Yeah. And you guys have to know this about us, to know that we both, you know, we're Memphis girls. We are small town girls who came to New York with a lot of ambition and very few relationships, I would say.
Very few.
I would say, but over the years, we've been able to organically build and organically connect with people that have continually given us doors that if we could just get to that door,
it'll be open.
We will bust it. I mean, we will work it. And that's the thing. So, you know, that preparation, you know, that most people would have had, like you said, from the heritage families and, you know, people that have always drank the finer teas and so forth. We haven't done that. We've had Lipton, but we know how to sip a great tea when it's time now because we prepared ourselves for it.
You know, when you said somebody opening the door, so for HFR, we have an honoree that I wanted. Mm-hmm. And she's a huge actress.
Yes.
A huge actress.
Yes.
Every last one of you girlfriends would know
she's a heritage, an American icon. Yeah.
And so one of my advisory board members, I knew had a relationship with her. Mm-hmm. So, you know, sometimes you're like just moving and grooving and getting things done. So I emailed her and I said, hey, we want to honor her. You know, can you get a letter out to her and make the request for me? She was like, yeah, no problem. Send me a one sheet. I even took the time to build a custom, beautiful one sheet for her with the actress photograph on there and everything, okay? Sent it over to her. Well, for weeks, we didn't hear anything. So I said, you know what? I'm on one of my intern calls. I said, you know, Shanicia, we haven't heard back from this woman, so let's come up with another plan. Mm-hmm. We had a plan B. Mm-hmm. I decided to shrink from the plan B. The plan B was also incredible. And I decided to go for somebody who I thought was more realistic for me to get, who's also an icon in his own right. But I was like, I'm going to go for this person. And what's interesting is that I got an email back. When I told her to do that, I got an email back that morning from the advisory board member that's like, here's the email from the actress. And it said, I'm very interested. I just need to talk to my publicist. Okay. That email, I was like, all right. That was kind of exciting, but I was like, all right, you know, her publicists are probably going to say no. Okay. See that? At this point.
Rejecting yourself before others can do it.
Rejecting myself, yes. So then I got an email from the publicist. And that email freaked me out. Like, I mean, guys, I started thinking, what does this mean for HFR? This means HFR is going to be put on a bigger platform. Are we ready for that? Like, like a million things. I started sending out text messages for people to pray for me, cover me in prayer, y'all. Like, all of a sudden, everybody thinks something's wrong with me.
Oh my gosh, she scared me with that text. You really did. I was like, okay, the baby's fine. Okay, what else in the world is going on then? Oh my gosh.
It's just, it is a real fear when things start to happen that you want to happen, when big doors start to open that you want to have open, and you know that door opening could change the trajectory of your life. That is difficult.
No, it's true. It is so true.
It's difficult. And so, we need to talk about maybe some of the things that we've done to kind of get through that. And how do you get over the fear of success?
Yeah. And, we were talking on the phone about this, and I think it's important, somewhere along the line, I don't know, it happens in every person's career, I feel. You have to make a decision about what side of success you're going to stand on.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Say that one more time.
You have to decide. You have to decide if you're going to embrace success or if you're going to be afraid of it. You have to decide. And it's a conscious decision you have to make, because that, I feel, is sort of a energy gateway to the type of opportunities that come before you.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And when Sybil told me that, it was like something in my heart dropped. I was just like, that was a scary place to live, to think that, okay, I have to, because I'm not going to decide to shrink away from success. No, that is not an option for me. So to think that I have to actually consciously decide to live on the other side of success that's an uncomfortable place.
No, but the truth of it is, you have to say to yourself, everything's working for me.
Everything's
working
qualify.
For me. Whatever this next season is, I'm prepared to walk into it. And, even when you had that situation in Bermuda, and we talked through that, a good friend of ours who walks into any room, guys, and he can connect at a pork rib joint or at a fine steak dinner, or he can connect in the Hamptons, he can connect in London, he can connect in every city, in the White House, everywhere. And he is a connector in nature. And one of the things that I take from him that I think is so valuable for people who want to be successful is knowing when to be the student and the teacher. Understanding that as a successful person, in those places where you feel afraid, it's time for you to take on student. Right. There's something you need to learn from someone else who's already gone before you. And then there's times where you already know you're ready for it. That's time for you to teach.
And how do you do that?
I think, honestly, when those moments where you are sitting back and saying, oh, crap, this Hollywood actress, this icon is considering the idea of working with my brand. And she even went to the point, guys, to call all of the years of building that she's done with HFR a charade. Yes, she did.
Oh, my God.
Yes, she did. And I could not believe, but that's real emotion. Sometimes you feel like a fake. You're like, oh, my gosh. Are people going to know?
Because it's like, wow, people are actually taking me serious.
It's kind of like if Madonna wore granny panties, right? You'd be like, but she's the vixen. What is she doing with granny panties? And it'd be like, what? Madonna doesn't sleep naked? You know what I mean? It's like, what is this story that she's giving us?
Yeah.
But honestly, the truth of it is, you have to sit back, take a look at where you are, and take a look at all of the models or the blueprints that you had in front of you whenever you needed an opportunity or a vision for what was ahead, and create new ones. You have to do it at every level. And excuse me, I remember when I got married, I was like, I need women who are married, who are popping at being wives, like who have balance. Mm-hmm. Then I had a kid. I was like, I need a woman with a kid. Then I had 2 kids. I was like, man, dog, I need a woman with an amazing marriage with 2 kids and a business and ambitions and life and love and spirituality like Christ. I need all of that. And then, business started growing. I'm like, man,
I know.
The criteria kept building, but my blueprints changed. The woman that I looked at initially, with the 1-child scenario, it's not the same woman that I look at this stage.
Right.
Our ambitions, our levels have changed. And right. I'm now looking at Hillary Clinton, and I'm taking some things of value away from her that she's done really superbly, and I'm leaving other stuff on the table. So I'm having to pick and pull from different people. Right. And that's what you have to do.
Absolutely.
You want to look forward, you need to find a blueprint that fits your mold.
And Sybil gave me, when we were talking, and we talked about this friend of ours who can kind of navigate through any situation.
Should we just
landscape.
Say his name?
No.
Okay.
We can't say his name.
All right. Well, we love you, friend.
But that person, what she said to me, when she said, Brandis, I see him get in a room, and when he gets in a room and he's a student, he's like, oh my God, that's fascinating. Tell me more about that.
Yeah.
And what it does is it allows other people to really talk about what they do, and it allows them to teach you.
Yes, and you're drinking water straight from the well at that point.
Yeah.
At that point, and not only are you drinking water from the well, but you're getting yourself equipped, because you're saying, wow, this person who I consider an icon or amazing or wise or whatever those confidences that you see in them, and they're pouring into you. It equips you. It makes you feel like you're equally as confident, and it builds you up, and it slowly but surely pushes those fears away.
Yeah. And we've all done it. Ladies, we have all made the mistake of running away from success at some point and going the opposite direction. I mean, I know I have, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
And I even did it. I wrote a book. And that book, it could probably be a big time book right now, but at the time I did have to choose Harlem's Fashion Row because I couldn't do both, but I almost felt like I kind of shrank away from that too.
Yeah.
So we have done it.
Yes.
Wrong.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel good. It's not even worth it. It's like, it's worth going into the space that feels super uncomfortable, where you don't know if it's gonna work out or if it's not gonna work out. But the one thing for sure is you cannot have the regret of not even trying.
Yeah. And you can't say God didn't create the doorway that you asked him for when you're scared to walk in the door.
It's so true. And I remember hearing one time from my sister, she was like, sometimes what is it? What the river was that was parted? The Red Sea?
The Red Sea, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
She said sometimes there's a path through the Red Sea, right? And that path is dry land, but there's water to your left and to your right. Mm-hmm. And what we want God to dry up the whole darn Red Sea. But he ain't gonna dry up the whole Red Sea.
Yeah.
He gonna give you the provision though, so you can walk on that dry land. But there might be things to your left or right that scare the crap out of you.
Yeah.
But you look straight ahead and you walk in the provision.
Yeah.
So
that is amazing.
Yeah.
I love that.
That has encouraged me so many times where I'm like, I see the water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I see the water, but it's like, here's my provision, so walk through that.
Yeah. I even think too, it's good to stop and make the assessment and ask yourself, how do I set me back? Like, what do I tend to do? What are some things that I do to set me back? Ain't nobody else setting me back. Nobody's in those thoughts at night. Nobody's in the mirror in the morning. Nobody's in the car on the way to work, except for us on your iPod or iTunes, whatever you choose to listen.
Right.
But what are the things that I do? How do I talk to myself? How do I treat myself? What are the ways that set me back? How are some of the ways that I am subconsciously prohibiting myself and operating in fear without even knowing it? It's like a person who wants to lose weight, says they want to have this better quality of life, and they know that the one thing that's keeping them from that next level in their life is their weight. And as they talk about this next level, this thing they want to do, and it feels so far away. The reason it feels so far away is because you're at Dunkin' Donuts. Or because you're eating excessively at night, or because you do binging,
right?
Or because you do emotional eating, or whatever it is. But there's a reason. It's not because we don't create these distances arbitrarily. We create these distances because there's something that we're doing to prohibit ourselves.
It's so true.
And you think about it.
It's so true.
We disqualify ourselves because we know the truth about our actions.
Yes.
Our behaviors that are restricting us.
Because there's some of you out there who's supposed to, and I'm actually speaking to somebody, but I'm not going to put her on blast. Not Sybil. But she's supposed to be starting a blog, which will be a game changer.
Wow.
A game changer. And every day I'm like, why haven't you written a blog? Why is this blog not up? I was like, I'll do the darn blog for you. Like, if you need to put it up, if you need to put it up, I can help you put it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I need a logo. Okay, here's the person for the logo right here. Call her. And as a matter of fact, I'll invest in your business and I'll invest in the logo. So it's like removing all those excuses. But ladies, we make too many excuses.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're supposed to be doing something, we got to go out there and get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it changes our legacy. It changes our family. It changes our perspective on the world. It changes our perspective on people whether or not people are assets or liabilities. How can I add value to someone? How can I add value to me? It opens doors for us.
It do.
Yeah.
I mean, I had been saying for years I was going to write a book. Years. Okay? Years.
Uh-huh.
And not until, which I'll tell you, girlfriends, this story at some point.
Okay.
This guy at Essence. Did I tell you that story?
I don't think so.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. So ladies, I promise I'm going to tell all you guys this story. It wasn't until this guy at Essence confirmed it for me. A random driver who I think could have been an angel. I don't know.
Wow.
But he confirmed that I had to write. And what I did was I'm doing a 100-day consistency project right now. And on that project, I'm actually sending emails every single day to my best friend. And it's my book. And so what's funny is I thought I didn't have anything to I was like, I don't know what to write. I don't know what to include, what not to include. But when you give yourself 100 days to write every day, you just write whatever comes to your mind that day. And what's fun, I've got probably now about 20 to 25 pages written.
Nice.
And I'm only on day 11.
Wow.
And so it's amazing what happens when you just decide to do it.
To support your success.
Yes.
Don't be the one to block it. Don't let your fear prohibit you.
Yeah.
That's true.
So girlfriends, so hopefully we gave you guys some good tips and just, making sure that you do not let the fear of success keep you from moving forward.
Absolutely.
And, I'll just say, Sybil, let's give them leave them with 3 things.
Make the decision. Make the decision. Decide what side of your success you're going to live on. Are you going to add value to your success or are you going to take away from it?
Absolutely.
That's my main one.
I'm going to say number 2, feel the fear and move anyway.
That's very good. I love that.
And then the third one is have somebody that you're accountable to.
Oh my gosh.
Because that 100-day consistency project would not work if I were not accountable to someone.
Yeah.
If she don't get an email from me, she's like, oh, I didn't see anything from you today. So it's just like that one little thing, just having somebody that can hold you accountable to your success.
That's good. Well, ladies, we are so grateful that you joined us for this podcast, and we want to first off thank our boos.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you, Kwaku. We love you guys. And our families, our Sam, Dilly, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters.
And baby love.
Baby love. Baby love. Yes, baby love is growing so beautifully. And, our great girlfriend.
Yes, for trusting us to be your go-to source for everything life, love, and laughter. So remember to check us out on your Instagram.
The Great Girlfriends.
On your Facebook.
The Great Girlfriends.
On Twitter.
At @the_great GFS.
And tell all your friends to visit our website at thegreatgirlfriends.com. Keep listening and keep being a great girlfriend.
I'm Sybil.
And I'm Brandis.
And we're signing off.
Bye.